Hi everyone, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. I have a, I forget what school this is. This is Golden Bear. Is it this year? I'm not sure. Hold on just a moment while I check. So I judged Golden Bear a couple of years ago, and it was actually, so anyway, the team got first place. Coles, sorry, I don't know the school. But this critique is for the team and anybody else who's watching. So the bags on the back are really easy on those belts there. That's a really nice way to be, and they're Air Force blue too, which is really cool. It's a really easy way to make sure that the cases are tucked away and just taken care of. However, they're not authorized. There's so much that's been developed in the military drill world that so the cases were designed to be tucked into the belt, not draped over, but into the belt, so that they look nice and clean in the belt. Like my arm, let me push this out of the way. My arm is the belt, or let's say my hand is the belt, and then this cloth here is the case. So the case should be squared off and have a couple of inches on the bottom, couple inches sticking up, or up top, and then a couple inches sticking out the bottom. But anyway, so I appreciate the idea, though. I've seen them for years. They're just not authorized, and please don't ever do a ceremony with those bags. I understand why they're there for the competition. I get that. If I were a judge, I would actually count off for this, give a less of a score, because there's nothing that says that this is what you use or what you can use in lieu of tucking the case into the belt there. So all right, Air Force using Army technique. That means that both staffs need to have a slight angle forward. Our organizational bearer does have a slight angle forward here, but national bearer is vertical, which, you know, you're in the AFJROTC ceremonial version of the uniform, and so vertical would be the technique. There's a whole problem, really, of, you know, marching in the ceremonial uniform and then not using ceremonial technique. It's not supposed to happen that way. But, you know, this is what we have, so this is what we use. Anyway, organizational bearer's hand is way too high. Needs to be at mouth level. And then both guards at right shoulder, but right rifle guard, you can see here, is not tucking the elbow into the side. And I really like using my larger screen. Okay, so let's click play. Excellent voice. Holy cow. Now, one of the things that I haven't done is check volume. And I've got the video volume turned down. So let me make sure. I really want viewers to be able to hear this. So there's the wind. There's always wind. Always. It's so annoying. Great step off with the arm swing backwards. Gonna see that again. Yep, really nice. Inconsistent arm swing, but still, there was a pretty decent application there. So you can see arms are coming out better to the front and inconsistently to the rear. Maintaining the spacing throughout during the so California, on the West Coast, and even when I was in AFJROTC back when drill ceremonies manuals were written on stone tablets, the team has to request permission to enter and then reports in and then reports out. And so I remember doing that. I remember requesting permission to enter. Anyway, so organizational bearer, what you're doing here is you're dropping your shoulder. Okay, so you should stand up square, come out, and that's it. Your shoulder shouldn't move at all. Your dip is almost horizontal. It's okay, not really, but boy, it's pretty close. So what you need to do is just come out and not do that. All right, so you're used to a little more engaging your torso, so don't do that. That's much too much. So the keepers on the belts, on the ceremonial belt, there's those two metal keepers that look like, if you look at them off of the belt, they look like a kind of a flattened letter C. You can tighten those by taking cloth and then putting the cloth over it and then clamping down on it with a pair of pliers. Very gently though. You have to have the cloth on there though. And you want them fairly tight because they shouldn't move. And you should have them 1 inch, which is the width of your thumb, usually. They should be 1 inch from the belt or the belt buckle. So and we have two different techniques here for present. You can see the guards. Right rifle guard is thumb up, and I nothing against the individual here. I can't stand the thumb up position. Although in the training circular you can see that there is a thumb up, and it could be interpreted to apply to the 1903. Although it just I think it looks ridiculous, honestly. But then again, the reason I bring this up is because both the guards are not using the same technique. If you're both doing the thumb up, then at least it would be the same technique, but you're not doing that. Left hand is nice and low. It looks like it actually looks like it might be a little bit too low. Nope, I don't have a 1903. Yeah, left hands look like they may be a little bit too low. So, when you're at port, you want your pinky at the, this is the upper receiver, so you want your pinky right there at the upper receiver, all fingers closed. And then when you're at present, then you want the same thing, pinky at that same level for the upper receiver. And it looks like those left hands are a little bit too low. So thumb up or wrapped around, I much prefer wrapped around, but I can understand the interpretation of the thumb up. It just looks like you need a ride after the competition's finished. So I appreciate the harness socket levels here. Two very differently heighted bearers, and you've got the harness socket levels well within standards there. National bearer, you could have come down a little bit to try and even out, but definitely doing well here. The problem with the ceremonial trousers is that the silver stripe is quite expensive, and so altering the trousers as high school cadets grow can leave crease marks in the stripe. So, and it looks like both the national bearer and the left rifle guard really need to have the trouser legs altered. Okay. Great enunciation. Well done on the report in. Nice pop back there with a single count. That was good. Slight inaccuracies with the sling sequence. So it's not a facing movement, it's a face in march. So you're going to pivot on that right foot. So, and don't bring the staffs down to order, and don't bring them down to your waist. So anyway, it's the right foot's platform that you're going to pivot on, either out 45 to the right or 45 to the left. It's not a facing movement to face, close, and then step off. It's an immediate step off, 4 steps, hold, about face. Now use my pike pull here. What you're going to do is you're going to use the raised guide-on position. Army and Air Force and now Space Force have a raised guide-on position. And so the raised guide-on position is this for the Air Force. The left hand is under. Army is here, Air Force is here, and then, and so, yeah, I can do it. All right, so this is raised guide-on so let me bring there. Okay, so this is raised guide-on for the Air Force, all right, and then this is raised guide-on for the Army. Why we have to be different, your guess is as good as mine. All right, so you're here, and then what you're going to do is bring the staff down, and then this would be present guide-on, then you drop the left. Well, you're not going to drop the left. What I suggest you do then is pull the staff in so that you have the left hand in front, right hand here, and then when it comes time, you can unfurl easily using this technique. So one hand twists, on the one hand lets the staff roll through, and then the other hand twist, 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 and you don't stop. It's one continuous movement there, which we will get to in just a second here. Nice mirrored matching technique there. So not so much here. So for the unfurling, you want to unfurl so that the staff is horizontal. Now with this wind, you could probably keep it horizontal the entire time. So staffs, oh, and I'm sorry, what I failed to mention is the staff needs to be under the armpit, not down at the waist, under the armpit. All right, it has to be there. So, and during the, was it Civil War, 3x4 flags were developed because the average man's height was too short, and 3x5 flags were actually, when they were being unfurled, they were touching the ground. So cut off a foot and just reattach the fringe. And then, so anyway, you need to finish so that the finial, the spade is flat, and the flag is unfurled completely. Now you can the angle that you have the staffs here is just too much. It's not necessary. So as you're unfurling, let's say there's no wind at all, the flag is hanging straight. So as you unfurl, when you need to, you don't stop and then pull the flag up. Like some of this is all supposed to be one smooth, fluid motion, and there's so much jerking around of the staff and the flag by many teams that it doesn't come across well at all. You're dealing with the colors. The colors need to be treated very, I won't say delicately, but respectfully. All right, it's not a lace doily, but it is the American flag. It does have some massive meaning to it, and we need to understand that. So you're unfurling completely, the staff is horizontal. You need to end so that the staff is horizontal and the spade is flat if you are tall enough. Now if you're not, then both of the staffs need to be brought up just enough to where it's fully the flag material has fully cleared the marching surface. That angle, much too much, because you need to be able to see that the finial then is flat there, just like that. You need to make sure that as you unfurl, the finial is flat, and then your flag is hanging down from there. And you don't bring it down to order. I need to go back. I'll show you in just a sec. So you're finished. Let's say you're finished at a slight angle. With the right hand, bring the staff up and into the socket. Easily done. So you cut away there. Oh, interesting. Why don't you have the left hand, since you're using Army technique? Oh, yeah, right. Everybody's swinging their arms. Why are you doing that? That's interesting. Why are you so? Yeah, I'm just now understanding this, recognizing it. If you're using Air Force technique, then the guards are going to be at the outside shoulder, and then nobody swings their arm. This is Army technique, and so only the guards should be swinging their arms. Your left hand needs to be on the staff at the socket. So either you're using Army technique or you're not, and so I'm going to watch the guards now. I was watching the bearers. So yeah, technique is not the same for the guards here. Now I appreciate you're holding the cases the way they should be, although you're holding them with different orientation, and then the strings are flying all over the place. And I know these cases can be a bear to okay, golden bear. They can be a bear. I got the pun. Anyway, they can be a bear to manipulate, but you need to make sure that even though one end has a point on it, you need to make sure that everything is folded up so that it's square on the top and the bottom, and that the strings are tucked away. Now, however you do that is however you do it, but you could tuck the strings into the mouth of the end. Up to you as to how you get that accomplished. No, don't slap your right. So you're at sling. You're holding your case. So you're going to come over, present arms. You're going to grab the sling with these two fingers while still holding the case. You're going to go to present. There's no and definitely don't smack your side. That's not even close to the proper technique. So please don't do that. So you're going to hold the sling on top of the right, go to present, finish the salute by cupping the hand, bringing it to the right, slide it up under, grabbing the sling up under the left, and then drop the left to the side. Post. Well, and actually, I forget the commands of the sequence. So if you're not finished, now let's go back here. If you're not finished, you're working with the case here, and you're supposed to be tucking it into the belt there. In this instance, we have these cases. So you finish. Once you finish, don't just grab your sling and come to the position of attention and wait for your other guard. You need to stay in that position until the other guard is finished. And what I suggest you do is there. Just hold your hands right here at the case. Look over. You probably can't see my eyes, but I'm looking over at my other guard here, my left rifle guard. He's finished. He comes to this position. You both come back up, grab your sling, left at the side, and then you execute your movements. to come back out. See, both of you should be doing the same thing at the same time, all the time. So that's not the command. The unsling arms actually means to bring the rifle off of the shoulder and then set it down to order, and with the loosened sling. That's unsling arms. There is no command to tighten the slings in the sequence. The command would be tighten slings, but since we don't do that, all the guards automatically go into the tighten slings sequence. And what I see here is, so it looks like, yeah, you're placing the butt of the rifle. Well, I'll let this play. You're placing the butt of the rifle on the top of the leg, in the crease of the leg, and you shouldn't be. You need to put it on your hip, on the top of your hip bone. Where the ceremonial belt lies is the top of your hip bone, and you need to place that butt right there on the top of the hip bone, angled off at a 45-degree angle from center, 45-degree over, using that Army technique. Look at that. Oh, that was close. So left rifle guard, almost. Almost. I want to see it one more time. I know I tend to do this, and it annoys some, I'm quite sure. So left rifle guard, you didn't execute the face-in march, but everybody else really looked pretty good in that execution. So you're holding the left wheel and even the right wheel. So leaving you're leaving the mark time a bit too long there. Good. So Commander, when you mark time, you're the only one that I saw with the feet. You're marking time like this. You should be marking time like this. Okay? If you have your toes pointed out, that means your knees are pointed out. So you want to bring your knees pointing forward so that you have your feet pointing forward, and you're marking time with your walking base. Remember, your walking base is the distance between the inside of each foot, anywhere from 3 to 5 inches. It's a normal. It's normal to have a variation there, but it's just the normal way you walk, which then translates into, oh yeah, way too low there, California Bear. Holy cow. You had to report like 17 times. So, having the inspection in the middle, that's kind of strange. Anyway, that's fine. So you went to parade rest, but your right rifle guard, you're the only one I saw. So you're at attention like this, and then you go to parade rest and you slide your hand up. So don't slide your hand up. Air Force technique. Now, I've got an article. I'll put a link below. Hopefully I remember, to the way you use Army methods with Air Force techniques. So you stand at attention like this, you go to parade rest like that. Same thing. Your hand never moves. And that's for all the services. The Air Force and Space Force would look like this at parade rest. Everybody else would look like this. But the hand doesn't move position relative to the really bad thing about the Air Force, oh, there we go, about the Air Force parade rest, is that we never tuck the oh boy, camera movement. We never tuck the silk, whereas Marine Corps, Navy, and Coast Guard do, and they do it for good reason. And Air Force and Army really need to do that. However, will we ever do that? No, because everybody's gets too bent out of shape. Tradition. Anyway, so the silk is, liable to smack somebody in the face. There's a decent amount of wind here. So you're looking down. You're bringing the staff up, straight up. You're meeting it with your left hand over here. You're not. So the Air Force pamphlet, the training circular, even the Marine Corps order doesn't necessarily say this is exactly how you're supposed to do every little tiny thing for the color guard. There is some leeway in there. However, bringing it up to the harness socket, so that can be interpreted that you bring it up and to the harness socket. But honestly, if you brought the staff up over the harness socket, then all you have to do is slide it in there, slide the ferrule into the socket. But you're grabbing the staff with both hands. That's why you have to look down, and you're not supposed to look down because you're at attention. So you need to look straight ahead. You bring the staff up and centered, and your left hand then goes to the socket. What I do is I pull. You have the good sockets, so I pull the socket back so that the mouth of the cup is horizontal, and then what I do is I fish with my finger to get the lower ferrule into the socket. All right. So both forearms are horizontal for the guards. So I also see left rifle guard. You're marking time with your feet out as well. So let me go back just a bit here. So the buckle, I just want to make sure, the buckle needs to be here on the right side. The strap needs to go through. And then I posted it on Instagram not too long ago about taking the tip that's pointed. You take that, you push the loop over. You take the tip, fold it in, and then you push the loop back up so that it's flush with the new end. It's not the pointed tip, but it's the new flattened end there. And it looks like you're all you all have the end is on the left, and that's good. But make sure before all of you go out, make sure that your silver braid or your silver chin strap is grounded. So, and I don't have my cover readily available, but you need to push. You just go up to each other and make sure, and just push the silver chin strap down. Put your thumbs underneath the bill, and then make sure that it's nicely grounded all the way across. National Bearer, yours is riding up high there, and yours is a bit crooked there, left rifle guard. Made that in 6 steps. That's good. So again, arm swing to the rear is different. Now look at the slight timing in the step here, but we have California color bearer. Your arm is actually rotating as you swing. So as you rotate, your palm tends to point to the rear instead of keeping it, pointing to the right the entire time. Good. 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 The guards are staying in place as you turn, which can be a problem for many teams, with the guard constantly marching forward in an arc, making the whole team move forward. So you're waiting, it sounds like you're waiting 8 steps. You're making it in 6. You can call the forward after that 6 and get that the move over with, more or less. 7, 8, there you go. So you waited 12 steps there. You made it in 8, added another 4, and then called halt. So it comes across as more effective if you at that 8th count or 6th, whichever you choose. Anywhere from 6 to 8 is fine, but on that 8th, then that that ends on the right foot, and then your 9th step is color guard halt, Air Force command, or forward march, whichever you choose. So you can see there's I meant to mention this before, left rifle guard. You're bringing the rifle out and bringing your right hand up, and then just dropping the rifle. And it's, even if you do have some distance to go, dropping it like that is here, let me show you something here. All right, so you bring the rifle to the port position, and you're actually doing quite well there. Remember, the upper sling swivel needs to be at chin level, so you're at the port position. So you should slide your hand up to the small of the stock, and then twist and turn so that you're looking over the front sight. Now, what you do, you see how you drop the rifle and it moves back and forth. So it goes back and forth this way, side to side. And that means you don't have control of the rifle. So you really need to bring the rifle out, grab, down, and not let it move side to side there. You're probably over handling the rifle, but also you're dropping it much too low, it looks like. So, well, your right arm has a natural bend. It looks like your right hand, your right fingers are at the small of the stock. I mean, that looks really good. It's just that you're passing eye level with the front sight. So it's either the front sight is at eye level or it's above. It's not below. So it's at, well, I don't have a 1903 or an M1, which is a longer rifle. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, hold on. I actually do. It was hiding. So when I go to present, and I have the rifle here right in front of my chair, but if I go to present, I can drop the rifle down much farther so that the front sight is at my nose. But I don't do that because I know that the front sight needs to be at my eye level. Now, if I was shorter, then the front sight would obviously be higher than my eye level. So that's the only way that the front sight can be different than having it at eye level, is if you're shorter. It can't go lower. It needs to be eye level or above, but only if you're shorter. So you're dropping it much too low. And so you should have your fingers wrapped somehow, and it looks like you do. The sling hides there. So a little bit of a floppy arm there. So let's go to the end step there. A little bit of a floppy arm for the California bear. Yeah, see how you've halted here and you're out of alignment there, California bear. I think you actually took a longer step. Anyway, still, with all that being said, that was a very good performance in spite of the wind. And now, actually, looking at the staffs, it looks like you both have a slight angle forward, which is fine. It's just that, you know, with the alignment issue, with the alignment issue, then you have that. Have one staff in front of the other, so it looks a little strange, but you still have the same angles there. So that's really quite good, and I really appreciate you asking for the critique, and also making it public. This helps others, believe it or not. Now I'm not getting thousands of views on my critiques here, but that's fine. That's not a big deal. I'm not doing that for just random viewers. I'm doing this for educational purposes, which is going to make the views a little lower, and that's fine. Not a big deal. That's not the purpose to get views. It's the purpose to educate. So if you have feedback, please leave it below. But I will definitely. I'm going to my website right now. I'm going to get that article. I promise. I'll do it right now, and then I'll upload this video. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it.